The FBI and Chesapeake Police Department investigation into that deadly Walmart mass shooting in Virginia is now complete.
Now, the city will now hand the store back to Walmart. Authorities claim the supervisor who allegedly shot and killed 6 of his coworkers left a message on his phone titled Death Note, in which he complained about his colleagues and referred to murder.
Tomorrow, the Chesapeake City Council will hold a special meeting to confirm the emergency declaration, which frees up funding to support the recovery effort.
A candlelight vigil will also be held to honor the victims. In a statement, Walmart says it plans to work closely with its associates to determine the best time to reopen.
Meanwhile, Thomas James is the other man being hailed as a hero after helping take down that gunman from the LGBTQ club shooting in Colorado Springs last week. U.S. Navy officials shared a statement and photo from James. He said in part, quote, "If I had my way, I would shield everyone I could from the nonsensical acts of hate in the world, but I am only one person. Thankfully, we are family, and family looks after one another," end quote. That shooting at the Club Q left 5 people dead and several more injured.
Investigators are now pouring through hundreds of videos and photos submitted by the public as they work to solve the murders of 4 students from the University of Idaho. This as students return from Thanksgiving break. The university has partnered with Idaho State Police to beef up their security presence in dorm buildings and on campus, but it's also offering students an option to work remotely.
I understand the fear. I think it's super scary, but I think it's important for us to stay together.
I feel like with the police saying that, that they kind of know that it was a targeted attack, that makes me feel a little bit more safe.
From the scene, police have gathered more than 100 pieces of physical evidence, taken around 4,000 photos, and have developed multiple 3D scans of the home. More than 2 weeks later, though, police still have no suspect identified.
A storm in the Northeast is hampering some travel plans as the Thanksgiving weekend comes to an end, but air travel showed fewer delays and cancellations today.
That's good news. ABC's Andrew Dimbert tells us how this compares to summer travel and if this trend will continue into Christmas.
The post-Thanksgiving travel rush is on. Millions now heading home from their holiday gatherings.
It was very busy at the airport, but they got us through okay.
At the airport in Fort Lauderdale, tons of people, but we made it through. TSA pre-check helps.
Nationwide, air travel is close to 99% of the level it was in 2019. James McCleary says he waited 30 minutes to get through security in Orlando.
It was busy. It was busy getting through the TSA. It moved fast, though. It wasn't like a standstill. Just a lot of people.
There have been some hiccups for air travelers. According to FlightAware.com, on Saturday, about 66 flights were canceled, more than 4,400 delayed. Some of those delays happening in the Houston and Dallas areas where there have been heavy rains and strong winds.
When it comes to Thanksgiving holiday travel, Houston Airports has seen a larger crowd than it did in 2019.
And it's not just the skies. Close to 50 million Americans hit the road this holiday weekend despite high gas prices.
I filled up my car, I think before I came up here, it was $5.40 something cents. And that was even cheaper for me. And this is $4.19. So I was like, this is crazy.
But weather could be a factor on some of the nation's roadways, with rain along the I-95 corridor in the east and winter storms in the Pacific Northwest. Zoreen Shah, ABC News, Los Angeles.
Thankfully, no weather issues over at San Antonio International earlier today. Just plenty of sunshine out there. We still do have those clear skies in place here tonight. Temperatures falling pretty efficiently thanks to still relatively drier air in place here at the surface in the 50s right now. Earlier this afternoon, it was much warmer than what we saw out there yesterday. 77 the high here in San Antonio, 81 out in Del Rio, 79 in Carrizo Springs, as well as Hondo, 75 up in Kerrville. Temperatures right now in the 40s across portions of the hill country and in the 50s here in San Antonio, stretching farther down to the south. Now, as we head into our Monday, it's still going to be chilly out there first thing tomorrow morning and pleasant as we head into the afternoon with those highs climbing into the 70s and mostly sunny skies. But changes move back in, especially by Tuesday with more humidity. Then even more changes as our next cold front arrives by midweek, filtering in cooler air for the second half of the work week's plans. We'll have another full look at that forecast coming up in just a few.
Let's talk holiday shopping. Black Friday is in the books. The next thing on our list, Cyber Monday. With all those deliveries you can expect at your door, there's one thing you might not expect: delivery truck fumes. 12 on your side's Marilyn Moritz has a few ways to make your online shopping a little greener.
It's the modern day sound of the holidays. Maybe having Amazon Prime or Walmart Plus means you get fast, free shipping, but there is an environmental cost of getting the goods to your front door. Trucks and vans making the last mile deliveries are estimated to emit more carbon dioxide annually than burning 4.5 billion pounds of coal. Not good for the environment or people.
If you breathe in the harmful fumes from delivery vans and trucks that are going by, these are microscopic particles. They can cause asthma, they can contribute to heart disease or cancer. That comes from decades of studies, and children and elderly people are particularly vulnerable to those harms.
FedEx, Amazon, and UPS all plan to roll out electric delivery vehicles, but that's years away. So what can you do now? Well, for starters, avoid one-item orders.
It's best to consolidate your deliveries into just one order if you can, and to pick the slowest shipment speed. That allows companies to keep fewer vans on the road.
Or pick up your packages from a nearby location like a UPS store or an Amazon locker. That cuts down on individual deliveries for the trucks. Or you can always shop local. That will cut down on all those boxes, too. Marilyn Moritz, KSAT12 News.
History is being made right now as we speak, but thousands of miles above the Earth. The record already broken by NASA's Orion capsule, and what more could come.
And back down here on Earth, it's an animal rescue that takes in abused and abandoned pets. Hear how one recent addition to the rescue is helping the owner heal from the death of her son. Barbara Garcia picks them up almost daily. Animals dumped in South Bexar County, then brings them to Homebound Babies Ranch.
The question is, who rescued who? Jesse DeGollado tells us why Garcia admits she'd probably be in a very different place if it weren't for these animals.
Breakfast is a big deal at Homebound Babies Ranch.
Yes, Papa, hold on.
And no small task for its founder, Barbara Garcia.
Are you hungry, little man?
No doubt he or any of the others are as hungry as when Garcia first took them in. They'd all been abandoned in South Bexar County.
When I find these animals, they're usually nothing but bones, torn up, bruised up, beat up, and starving to death.
Yet thanks to much-needed donations, Garcia nurses them back to health. She gets them spayed and neutered by a vet and given their shots.
Mary's next.
Garcia named her rescue Homebound Babies Ranch because she's confident they'll all be adopted, like at least 100 others so far this year.
Sooner or later, it doesn't matter how long it takes me. Here, Lucy. Good girl, Mama. Very good.
One of the newest ones, Lucy, arrived on a day Garcia will never forget.
She says she saw Lucy running up and down the fence and then jumping up and down the gate, begging to come in.
Garcia believes Lucy was sent to her by her son, Eduardo.
To say, hey, Mom, I'm watching you.
It was on the 25th anniversary of the date Eduardo took his own life at the age of 20. His mother says he'd been abused by a priest at a high school seminary when he was 16.
The priest got off the hook. He only got probation.
Eduardo's abuser would later die in prison after violating probation, but by then, Garcia's son had committed suicide.
He would have nightmares saying that the priest was here by his bedside and that he could see the priest around him all the time.
Unable to save her son, Garcia believes she's trying to do that now for creatures who've suffered in their own way. And she says, for her own well-being.
When you see what you can do to help an animal, you know, it gives you purpose. You're grateful to have something to do.
In South Bexar County, Jesse DeGollado, KSAT12 News.
NASA's Orion is making history both in space and here on Earth. How the latest mission gets us one step closer to traveling to Mars.
We rise together, back to the moon and beyond.
NASA is celebrating a new milestone in space exploration. The Orion spacecraft breaking the record yesterday for the farthest distance traveled by a spacecraft designed to carry people to deep space and return them safely to Earth. The previous record set by 3 men on the Apollo 13 crew back in 1970, famously described as a successful failure. There's a movie about it. The Artemis mission tests the systems and procedures that would be used for crewed flights to the moon in the years to come, and possibly even one day to Mars.
It's a very important step in exploration. Going to the moon, we can practice and learn before we go and take the bigger steps to go to Mars. We can really understand and make sure that it's safe for people.
Along the way, Orion will capture some pictures that Apollo 13 couldn't, so stay tuned for those. Yeah.
I really like that Apollo 13 movie.
It was a good movie.
Yeah.
Back down here on Earth, it was a beautiful day to walk off a week-long, I would say weekend, but I had a week-long Thanksgiving feast pretty much.
Good for you.
Because we hosted, so there are still leftovers. And I was like, these got to be done by Sunday because I got to start walking this off.
I wasn't walking anywhere this morning, I'll be honest with you.
Yeah, it has been generally a very nice weekend. We saw the sun come out, hadn't seen it for quite some time. And generally tomorrow is going to be really nice too. Tuesday, a little humid out there. And then of course those changes move in midweek. So this is really the big picture and the changes that we're monitoring, not just over the next couple of days, but throughout the upcoming work week. That humidity rushes back into south central Texas a little bit tomorrow, but again, even more on Tuesday. I think Tuesday morning's really where you're going to notice that mugginess in the air. And then as quickly as that moisture moves back in, it is shoved back out to the Gulf of Mexico thanks to that next cold front that arrives Wednesday morning, filtering in some cooler air, highs in the 50s and 60s for Thursday and Friday. But it is doing so via a gusty north wind. So just kind of looking ahead to Wednesday, know that it is going to be pretty windy out there. Tomorrow, not so much. It will be chilly in the mornings. We'll start off in the 40s here in San Antonio. I think some upper 30s possible across portions of the hill country. So again, the jacket will be needed, but you won't need that extra layer as you head into the afternoon hours. It is possible that we find a few clouds move into parts of south central Texas tomorrow morning. A couple of isolated spots of some patchy fog. If we do find any of that, it does look to break up throughout the morning hours, and then more sunshine will take us into the afternoon with those highs climbing into the 70s for the most part. Around 73 is that forecast high here in town. Tomorrow afternoon, same down Highway 90, places like Hondo, Uvalde, 71 up in Kerrville, 77 in Cotulla, 73 over in Pleasanton, as well as Gonzales. Now, we do have that drier air in place right now, and I think for the most part that's still going to be the theme tomorrow morning. But as that high pressure system moves east and we see those winds turn back in from the southeast, that's what allows that Gulf moisture and all of that moisture and mugginess to work its way back into the area as well. So because of that, the cloud cover really makes its return by Tuesday morning. Overcast skies, and we do have the potential, about a 20% chance to find a few sprinkles out there, as well as some pockets of drizzle, some patchy fog not completely ruled out there as well. And then into Wednesday, once we see that front move in, only about a 10, maybe 20% potential in our far eastern counties to find a quick shower as that boundary does work its way into our area. I think the better chances for rain and thunderstorms currently sits just east of our area. But of course, we'll continue to monitor that. Here's the setup while we are quiet across our region here Sunday night. It is a much different story across portions of the Pacific Northwest, reaching up into Canada as some snow continues to filter eastward thanks to this dip in the upper level wind pattern. That is an area of low pressure you can see is bringing some much colder air to that part of the lower 48, below freezing in places like Casper, Wyoming, stretching over to Boise, Idaho. We are not expecting as cold temperatures here. There is the potential for maybe a very light freeze Thursday morning across portions of the hill country. But other than that, you can see here on your high temperatures, we'll see those dip into the 50s after that front does move in Wednesday and Thursday afternoons, and then we start to see those temperatures once again crank back up, mid-60s by Friday, and then we'll start to work more humidity in again with these pattern changes into the upcoming weekend, Saturday and into Sunday in the 70s. And again, it will still be pretty breezy out there as well on Wednesday, so that is just something to keep in mind. But until then, enjoy tomorrow. It's going to be chilly out there in the morning, but it's going to be nice into the afternoon. And then that moisture and the humidity just moves back in on Tuesday. So tomorrow's going to be great.
See, Tim, it's time to walk.
I wasn't walking anywhere because I did not get up this morning.
You were still depressed.
I was in
after the
recovery
game.
mode.
Yeah. We won't talk about the dreaded Ohio State game. We won't do it.
Anyways, moving on.
I'll move on. I just needed to give it a second to soak in. All right, Black Panther Wakanda Forever went back for thirds this weekend, not at a Thanksgiving dinner, but at the box office, trying for its third straight weekend crown. Did it succeed? Find out after the break.
You believe you are not worthy, but fate does not make mistakes.
Black Adam is at $163 million domestic after a fifth-place weekend worth $3.4 million. In fourth place, The Menu served up a sophomore weekend worth $5.2 million. The Korean war drama Devotion, based on a true story, debuted in third place with $6 million.
Get back here!
The animated adventure Strange World opened in second place, discovering $11.9 million in ticket sales. For the third straight weekend, no movie came close to Black Panther Wakanda Forever. The Marvel sequel made $45.9 million for a domestic total of $367.7 million, already the sixth highest grossing movie of the year. In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
The Spurs are in the middle of an 8-game losing streak following back-to-back losses to LeBron James and the Lakers.
And who's left in the high school football playoffs as we enter the state quarterfinals this weekend? Let's find out as we head over to Greg Simmons.
Yeah, and we had another great game go down to the last second, and a huge boxing event headed to San Antonio this weekend featuring a former 5-time Pro Bowler in the NFL. Coming up tonight on a brand new edition of Instant Replay. The Spurs are in the middle of an 8-game losing streak following back-to-back losses to LeBron James and the Lakers here in San Antonio. Now they have to hit the road starting on Wednesday, and a big fight card headed to the Alamo City on Saturday night at the Freeman Coliseum featuring a former NFL running back. And the Brennan Bears find themselves facing Austin Westlake in the Class 6A Region 4 Finals with a chance to end the Chaparrals' 53-game win streak in the regional playoffs, the longest in the nation, in the Alamo Dome this Saturday at 2 p.m. Coming up, we'll let you know who's left in the high school football playoffs with the best of big game playoff coverage and a brand new #1 team in 12's Top 12. All that plus World Cup soccer, and UTSA prepares to pack the dome for back-to-back Conference USA Championship games. Instant Replay is live, and it is next.
We'll see you in just a few. Thank you, Greg.
You got it.
And we'll be right back after this.
That is all of our time for now. Thanks for watching. Be sure to tune in to Good Morning San Antonio for your latest overnight news.
And all new Instant Replay starts right now.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to a brand new edition of Instant Replay. Here's hoping you had a fantastic Thanksgiving holiday weekend with your family and friends. In a moment, we'll sit down with the new face of the Spurs franchise, Keldon Johnson, and what he has to say about shouldering that responsibility. But first, the UTSA Roadrunners have finally cracked the Associated Press College Football Top 25 for the first time this season after two major firsts in school history. For the second straight season, UTSA will host the Conference USA Championship game this Friday. Only this time, they will do so after an undefeated season in conference play, a first for UTSA, and they're now ranked in both national polls for the first time since last December. Number 23 in the AP Top 25, number 24 in the USA Today Coaches Poll. The Roadrunners capped their historic regular season with a monumental comeback victory, erasing a 24-point deficit to defeat UTEP 34-31 in their regular season finale. That's the largest comeback in program history. Quarterback Frank Harris was sensational, completing 16 passes for 384 yards and 3 touchdowns to help the Roadrunners earn their 9th straight victory.
It means a lot. First time, program history being 8-0. Who would have ever thought, first coming in, having losing seasons. Just a testament to Coach Traylor and the staff, changing the culture around, and us going out there and executing.
That's 12 straight games, man, where they freaking give it up now. Their competitive spirit is like no one's. And I already knew when it's 24-0, I'm not going to be asking me, why is Frank still out there and why hadn't I pulled the kids yet? And I was going to tell them, we're going to come back and win the game. And by God, we did.
The Roadrunners now take on North Texas in the championship game Friday at 6:30 at the Alamo Dome. UTSA defeated the Mean Green 31-27 in the Dome back on October 22nd. Trinity's, remarkable season came to an end in the second round of the Division III playoffs against the defending national champions Mary Hardin Baylor, once trailing 17-0. Tigers scored 17 points in the second half to make it a 24-17 game with 11 minutes left to play, but ultimately couldn't find a way to get over that hump in a 24-17 loss.
This group's never going to give up. They've planted oak trees that are going to cast shade for a long time on this program about what it is to be resilient and have a next man up attitude, and they'll be back. We'll be back. But this is going to hurt because they're competitors.
Trinity finishes their season with an 11-1 record and the deepest playoff run since 2002. After enjoying a bye week, UIW returns to action for the second round of the FCS playoffs on Saturday. The 7th-seeded Cardinals will host 10-2 Furman Saturday at 1 at Benson Stadium. The Paladins defeated Elon 31-6 in the first round, and quarterback Lindsey Scott Jr. will lead one of the highest scoring offenses in the nation onto the field. Scott has thrown 50 touchdown passes this year, and after failing to have a winning season the last 4, today Texas State head football coach Jake Spavital was fired. In a statement released by the school this afternoon, athletic director Don Coryell said that he met with Coach Spavital to inform him they were making a change in the leadership of our football program. In 4 seasons, Spavital finished 13-35 overall. That included 3-9 in 2019, 2-10 in 2020. Back-to-back 4 and 8 seasons of 21 and 22. Coryell says the search for a new head football coach is already underway.
Pro football coverage, powered by Davis Law Firm.
Texans switching starting quarterbacks and going with Kyle Allen today in Miami, but would it really change anything for the Texans on offense? For Miami, out of score, no reason to show anymore, is 30-15 at one time. The Dolphins are up 30-0. Houston now drops to 9-1. Next up, the Browns will be at the Texans Sunday at noon at NRG Stadium, and the Colts and the Cowboys will tangle Sunday Night Football at AT&T Stadium. Washington Commanders hosting the Atlanta Falcons this afternoon. Third quarter, Panthers. Third quarter, Sam Darnold already has a touchdown pass. Now he takes it in himself from 1 yard line, but he's hit. The ball's knocked loose. He gets his own fumble, rolls in the end zone for the touchdown. You don't see that every day. And the Panthers win it 23-10. 6-4 Bengals and the 7-3 Ravens. 10-yard touchdown catch. Take another look at amazing grab falling out of bounds. 2-point conversion was good. Jags lead by 1 point. Ravens get a chance to win it, but Justin Tucker's 67-yard field goal tipped is just short. Jags win a wild one, 28-27. Saints at Niles win it 23-17 overtime. Packers at the 9-1 Eagles 83. So here are your local NFL connections from San Antonio. It includes the Bengals, Trey Flowers, out of Judson High School, 1 tackle. And the Titans, Kevin Strong, UTSA, 1 tackle. The Raiders, Trayvon Mayrig out of Smithson Valley, 3 solo tackles, 1 pass defense. For the Seahawks, Tariq Woolen out of UTSA, 4 tackles, 1 solo. And the Saints, Marcus Davenport out of Stevens, 1 solo tackle. Time now for tonight's instant replay poll question. Do you think the Dallas Cowboys should sign wide receiver Odell Beckham Jr.? Yes or no? Vote now. We'll have the results a little later in our broadcast tonight. When we come back, it's time to go one-on-one with the Spurs leader, Keldon Johnson.
A lot of people ask me, is it a lot of pressure? And for me, I was like, it's hard for me to have a lot of pressure on me when I got such great teammates.
What is it like being the face of the franchise for the Silver and Black? Find out as we sit down with number 3 for the Spurs, Keldon Johnson, who gets the wins in today's World Cup action from Qatar. Larry Ramirez is here to break it down and look ahead for Team USA Mexico in group play. We also have the best of big game coverage, 12's Top 12, and boxing is coming back to the Freeman Coliseum this week with a special guest as the main event as Instant Replay continues live next.